Welcome to the Black Bull Markets trading floor here from Auckland, New Zealand. Really keen to do a quick market update for you, given all the news volatility that's probably expected later on today, and also what's been happening over the last 48 hours, especially as we continue to see tensions rise, geopolitical sense in the US and also Europe, considering recent Brexit discussions with the EU, and also recent revelations and concerns escalated around the Irish border. Moving on from today, we saw a bit of good news from New Zealand with the Kiwi dollar having a bit of a rally following business confidence data that came out earlier today, showing the environment is the highest level since May. And as you know, the Kiwi has been taken a bit of a hit from its 74 cent levels the beginning of the year to now 66 cents against the dollar. Of course, from the extended effects of the trade tariffs on China, New Zealand and Australia respectively being very close trading partners, and from a macro point has brought on a lot of pressure on these currencies, making them weaker in nature, with the Aussie pushing towards a 70 cent mark and the Kiwi pushing towards a 65 cent mark. So relatively cheaper for people buying Kiwi dollars, into the international economy, rather importers or exporters, sorry, selling their goods in New Zealand, getting a bit more bang for the buck, which is probably the reason why this cycle has turned, and now we're seeing a bit of a increase in the business climate here. And analysts explained that the firm's views of their own activity, especially at ANZ, amounted to about an 8% increase of overall productivity within the nation, which is pretty interesting, and more so within the retail sector. However, we are still getting, the Kiwi dollar is still struggling to break the 50-day moving average here, and it's been capped. This is on a daily time frame, so it's formed this downward trend. And if we do see a move, or depending on what's going to happen today with the FOMC, if we see something that's above expectations of what the Fed is about to announce with regards to their hiking path, we could see a bit more strength in the dollar and we could see a fall here. So if you're a bear and looking at the Kiwi and the Aussie, potential opportunity there, maybe. However, you know, to the upside, you've still got a few boundaries to clear before getting back to the beginning of the year norm pricing, 70 cent plus. Was near-term resistance at around 67.80, and then you've got the 70 cent mark. So on the upside, you still got a good 115 to 330 points there. Now, moving on, we'll have a look at the pound. Of course, it's more interestingly actually holding this level above the 100-day moving average here. Looking to press the close of yesterday's high, and if it does do that, we could see bulls come back into the market, and the pair could challenge, you know, the recent highs from September the 20th of around 132.99. I've got it marked here, which is an interesting move. However, again, it does depend on the outcome of the Fed meeting. That's probably the most dollar-heavy trade today across the board. However, if, you know, the Fed does reaffirm its rate hike path, despite what we're seeing in the oil price and in commodity markets, and if they do potentially say that they want more rate hikes this year, then you could see some buyers in that, depending on how the markets take it. But if we look from a technical point of view, we're seeing resistance fall there at September 20th high. That's what I'm looking at there. And near-term support, I would say around 131.40, which we could draw it in here. It's more or less where the market operates. Sorry. And obviously move to the downside 130.50, which is more of a psychological level for me. Now, again, moving on, another key pair that's probably likely to have some decent volatility today is the euro dollar. And remember, the US central bank is expected to raise rates by 25 basis points, and markets have pretty much already priced in 2 more rate hikes this year. So, like I said before, any deviation from that is really what you're looking for. So let's have a look at the euro here now. The euro currently is sidelined around the 117.65, 60 mark, and could pick up strong bid if the Fed does reaffirm its gradual rate hike path. So it'll be an interesting trade there. Like I said, 25 basis points is the figure. Markets priced in 2 more rate hikes this year. We have seen a gradual increase in the euro over the last week or so, and that has again predominantly come from this bit of a sell-off in the dollar index. And in terms of a technical perspective, we're looking at resistance at the weekly high of 118.15, got it marked there in blue. So that's the weekly high from that long wick. And on the upside to that, it's the high from June 14, around 118.52, marked in green. So if we could cross these levels and get above 119, you could see some decent the bullish momentum and enter and increase, and could see a challenge back up to the 119.50, 120 mark, depending on how the markets interpret this Fed meeting. So for me, I think it is a pivotal moment leading up to the last quarter of this year already, close to the end of the year. On a support side for the euro, levels you should be really aware of, I would say, is the 116 mark on the real downside within that area there. For me, is anything below that rather is more of a psychological level. Like, whoa, okay, let's reassess our positions. And 116.58 is pretty much where the 100-day moving average comes in. So we'll draw that in for you as well. 116.58. That's where the 100-day moving average is currently sitting at. So those are the key markets to watch today. Pound, euro dollar. Keep your eyes on the Kiwi as well. Interesting moves there. Watch the FOMC outcome. Anything unexpected, keep your eyes on it. And for any other information about our offering services, any questions about any of the videos, please let us know. Subscribe for more great videos like this using the buttons below. And for any questions, let our support team also know on live chat. We try and man it 24 hours around the day. All the best with your trading. Trade safer. Goodbye.